Hello, welcome to today's class, which is designed for root chakra, working into your hips and the area around your hips to give you more space and to feel more grounded in your body, your mind, and emotionally. So today we are going to begin by lying down. So just get you to lengthen out your legs, give them a little shake. Give yourself any little movements you might need. And then we're going to just bend the knees and bring the soles of your feet to touch. And let the knees fall out wide. So if your heels are close to the hips, you're going to find a deeper stretch in your thighs. And if you take them a bit wider, you'll find a little more stretch on the outer hips, but it'll ease off your thighs. You could also take a block or cushion and just pop them under your knees. We're going to be here just for a short while to ease ourselves in. Hands behind you to lower yourself back, just as far as you like. Again, just find some time here to adjust your legs. We're going to take our palms and just pop them on the tops of our hips. Good. Shoulders away from ears. Give your head a little roll. And once you are as comfortable as possible in your supine butterfly, just going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Puff up your chest, your belly. Crack the lips open and sigh it out. We're going to take 2 more big sighs. The intention is just to allow your bones, your muscles, your skin to sink back. All the breath out. Really want you to allow the breath in to swell your chest and belly out. No holding back. And just gently allow your lips to seal. Just breathing through the nostrils naturally. Become really aware of the weight of your skull, your shoulders, the backs of your hips. As you breathe, just allowing the insides of your thighs to soften, your thigh bones grow heavy. Awareness of that breath at your nostrils, flowing in and flowing out. I want you to feel the weight of your bones. The root chakra connects with our bones, this energy that's to do with the most primal, deepest parts of our being, our roots to this earth, to ancestral energy. The color of root chakra is red, as red and deep as your blood. It flows through your veins, carrying energy, oxygen from the breath through your heart and from your lungs, toxins, waste out into the world. Take one last deep breath in here. As you sigh out, really allow the connections across your skin to sink back through the soles of your feet, the back of your hips, shoulders, the head, your heavy palms on your hips. Take another breath in and slide your palms along your skin, down the thighs, outside of your knees, and just help to close your knees in together. Exhaling, let's bring the knees to chest, hands on knees, gently. Just hold here, a deep breath in. A long breath out. Allow the backs of your hips to sink down. It might mean your knees float away a little. That's okay. We'll take big circles with our knees together, beginning clockwise. So see if you can synchronize this with your breath. And the idea is to just allow yourself to feel the dynamics of your hips, your thighs. It's working with and against gravity, a kind of push and pull play as you breathe in and out. And just notice here any tension in your face, your jaw. Allow them to soften. So as we get in touch with this primal energy, really just keeping things simple, breathing in, breathing out, moving through each degree. And at the end of your exhale, let's switch directions. We're still in our belly breath, allowing the belly to swell and decompress. Allowing ourselves to connect or reconnect the mind with body and heart. Let's take one more round of breath here. Good. Knees close to chest. As you finish your breath out, let's tuck the nose to knees and hug our shins close. Take a full breath in here. Rounding through the spine, hug your shoulders round. Exhale, squeeze close. 2 more. One more. Oh, the breath out. Hands back on the knees. We're going to hug really close. You can gently open your eyes, see your legs, and start to rock back and forth along your spine. Now, if this is too painful, you're just going to roll over to your side, and we're going to come forwards, building momentum. Slowly coming forwards, just feeling gravity, momentum do its work. There's very little effort in this rocking and rolling. And as you come forwards, cross the shins, hands on the ground. We'll take a child's pose, so knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, sink hips to heels. Take a full breath in, gently broaden the heart forward. And as you exhale, lay the links of your spine down, one bone at a time. Extend the arms in front. Now, if your hips have floated all the way up, I definitely encourage you to take a block or a pillow and just pop it under your forehead to help yourself sink back. But don't worry if your hips are not all the way back, just take this to where you can. I want you to feel super heavy through your tailbone as you breathe in. As you breathe out, really long from the edges of your hips to your pinkies. Let's take 2 more deep rounds of breath here. We're still in belly breath. Breathing out. Soften your brow. And exhale. So at any point, you're very welcome to pause the video, to rest in child's pose and just listen. Whatever you like. Good. Let's press the 10 fingers down. We're going to lift the hips and tuck the toes. And just find your way to a downward facing dog, hips high, heels sinking low. Now, you can bend the knees as much as you need. And just feel free here to pedal out your heels. We're gripping the 10 fingers down, so we've got a tight connection with earth here. And I'm going to wrap the upper arms back towards the ribs, tucking the ribs in towards the hips. Eye gaze towards your shins or to your belly button. And so there's no hurry, there's nowhere to go. We're just going to take our time breathing in cyclical breaths. And on your exhale, allow your heels to sink down, your crown to grow heavy. So we're allowing gravity to help us out here. Take another deep breath in, gently stretch your tailbone up. And then exhale, pressing into all 10 fingers and dropping through the back of your neck. Inhale, lift your hips, your heels. And exhale, we'll bend the knees and circle forwards, lowering the hips. Circle the hips a little higher again. Inhale. Up on tippy toes. We're going to take 10 baby steps to the top of our mat. Just feel your footsteps here. Root Chakra, really feeling into those footprints. At the top of your mat, feet are hip width. Take a halfway lift to inhale, flat back. And exhale, bend the knees a lot. Lay your belly on your thighs if you can. Hands to opposite elbows, we drop the crown. In our ragdoll, if this is a wee bit too much, we're going to take our block and gently, you can also prop yourself up. From here, I want you to feel the weight of your pelvis and how it interacts with your ankles. So you can sway back and forth. Deep breaths, you can maybe take circles. And just notice the connection between your feet and hips. And find center here. And trust that you'll know when you found it. Hips hovering above your heels. Good. When you're centered, let's take a full breath in. Can you tilt your sit bones a little higher? Can you release your spine a little longer towards the core of the earth? So heavy. On the end of your exhale, just releasing your hands to earth. Ooh. With hands on earth, take a full breath in and gently scoop your heart forwards. We're pressing inner and outer thighs back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold down again. Deep bend the knees now. We're going to press into all four corners of the feet and gently C-curve the spine. Roll yourself up to stand. Can you find enjoyment in the way that each of your joints unrolls and supports itself up through the spine? Nourish yourself with every breath. Let the shoulders wrap back and open the palms. Crown high. Take a big wide circle with arms to sky. Inhale. Hands to heart center. Samastitihi. Let's take a full breath in to Om. Just set a clear intention for your health here today. Crack the eyes open. Enjoy your practice. Today, keep the feet hip width and press through the feet. Pray our hands to sky as we find our mountain pose. As you exhale, feel the tailbone drop, your ribs tuck. Shoulders relaxed. Let's breathe here. Good, and you're not just hanging out. You are gently activating through the four corners of your feet. And just feeling that rebound energy up through the arches of your feet into your hip bones. A gentle cinching of your abdomen, your core. So this grounding energy connects directly with gravity and our own sense of gravity. Notice where that is for you. You might even close the eyes and notice the gentle swaying, even though you're still, of your body. I would encourage you to move as if you're moving through sticky mud today, creating a tiny bit of helpful resistance through the air. Exhale, press the palms together if that's okay for your shoulders. Otherwise, just keep the arms open. Breathing in, let's lift the chest but keep the hips heavy. Good. Exhale, hinging from hips, we bow to our forward fold. Uttanasana. Halfway lift to breathe in, thighs back, heart forwards. Shoulders away from ears. Exhale, hands to mat, 10 fingers wide. We'll step back. We're going to keep our knees lowered today in this intention of grounding. So if our knees lowered, press the thumbs and first fingers down. As you breathe in, hug your arms towards each other. Good, we're engaging through the chest. Now exhale, upper arms wrap back. So we've just evened out our shoulders. And then notice where your hips are sitting in space. Have they dumped down? If they have, let's bring them back up just in line with shoulders. So your core has to work a little here. And we're still breathing. Or have you exited out into all fours? We're just going to keep that nice long line between our knees, our hips, our shoulders. Good. One more full breath in. Press down through the floorboards or the concrete. Through into the earth. Exhale. Now this time we're going to inhale, rock forwards and lower through chest, hugging elbows back. Inhale, slide your heart forwards. You're on your belly. Shoulders roll back. Untuck the toes to your Cobra. Inhaling. And exhale, roll your forehead back to the ground. 2 more times. Upper body works. Inhale, lifting. Your core is gently engaged. And exhale, come back down. So just feel the support of the earth here, supporting hips and belly. 1 more time. Bhujangasana. Inhale. Gentle eye gaze. And exhale, come back down. Your hands down beside lower ribs. We tuck the toes. Hips circle back to your heels. We're pushing through the arms. Let's find our downward facing dog. Hips high, guiding you back so your heels can rest. Let's take 2 rounds of breath here. And just keeping your movements as minimal as possible. Remember that sticky mud. Inhale, we're lifting hips, heels. Exhale, roll knees forwards. And take 2 steps, if you can, to the top of the mat. Don't worry if you need more. If you need more, take more. Halfway lift, breathe in, resetting. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees. We'll rise all the way back up to our mountain. So our arms are slicing through that mud, reaching up through to the heavens. Exhale, bow a long spine. So bend the knees as much as you need. Halfway lift to breathe in. And exhale, hands to mat. Stepping back, maybe the opposite foot back. Can you remember which one it was? Keep the knees down, chest down. Exhaling. Look forwards. Coming to our Cobra, heart sweeps forward, shoulders back. Long through your toes. Good. Exhale. Back to earth. Tuck the toes. Hips to heels. Inhaling. Back up to your down dog. And exhaling, your heels melt long through side bodies. Nice. Inhale, we'll lift the hips, the heels. Exhale, roll the knees forward, squeezing forwards. Stepping maybe opposite foot first this time. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. Moving, shifting dirt with your shoulders up. Exhale, down to your fold, forward fold. This time, let's bring the big toes to touch, a small gap between your heels. On your breath in, hips down, arms around ears. We're finding our chair pose. Let's breathe here. Now, the thing with moving slowly is that we become so aware of every sensation. It really creates space. And sometimes that space can be really difficult to sit with, especially in chair pose. Good, so we're breathing here, tuck the ribs in. Squeeze your thighs together. Can you feel that heat in your glutes, in your outer hips? That's fine. It means you're working hard. So inhale, let's lift the toes. Make sure we're balanced in our feet. Exhale, lower your pinky toes all the way through to the other toes. This is hard. You feel free to drop your arms to knees if you need. Still breathing. Okay, inhale, look forwards, reach forwards. Exhale, hands through heart to bow. Ooh. Halfway lift to breathe in. We'll exhale, take hands to mat. Step the left foot back. Front knee over front ankle, back knee down. Feel free to fold your mat over for padding or find yourself a cushion for your knee if it is sensitive. Inhaling, arms up to sky, finding a low crescent variation. Back toes are tucked. I'm going to breathe here, feeling into your feet. If you're wobbly, let's take that front foot out. If your heart rate has shot up, you can always bring your hands down to hips or to your heart. So we're just breathing here. As you breathe in, press front heel down, hug to back knee. Yeah, that front left hip flexor is just stretching out here. Take another full breath in, gazing forwards. Exhale, slowly pushing your hips forwards and down. Front knee tracks over the front toes. So watch that your knee doesn't come out. We want it forwards. Good. Back toes may be untucked. So if you keep that left glute, your butt cheek on, you can give it a prod. That should help you access a little more strength and flexibility in the front hip flexor. One more deep breath in here. Good. Exhale, glance down, hands frame the front foot. Option here to take your blocks either side or books, whatever you have there at home. And we're going to inhale, take the hips high and back, lift those front toes, finding our half Hanuman or half splits. On your breath in, tug the heart forwards and just peel left and right hips back. Exhaling, we lower our head. Now, I want you to notice if you are straining towards a shape that you think you should match. So what I'm doing on screen really is quite irrelevant to your body. Close your eyes and concentrate more on what you feel. Can you feel that stretch under your right sit bone, all the way under the belly of your right thigh? If you feel it in your knee, you're going to bend that knee. Root Chakra, this energy of forgiveness, of nourishing, and really prioritizing care for yourself as you move. Good. Exhale, drop forehead, your third eye towards knee, a humble half splits. Inhale, rebend the front knee, rock forward slightly. We'll take the left hand inside of that right foot. You can stay here with back knee grounded or tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. As you inhale, we're going to reach forwards. Big circle, right arm up to sky, exhaling to open your ribs up and stack the shoulders. Good. If this is not accessible, take your block. You can put it on the first or second setting to help you just bring the ground a little closer. Nice. So from here, notice if your left hip has dumped down, we want to square off the hips. So lift that left hip in line with right hip. It might mean that you don't twist so much. We're just going to hold here. Again, remember you can lower that back knee. Breathing. Take one more full breath in. That lower shoulder is wrapped in to help lift you a little more. Good. Exhale, look down to your front toes. Two hands frame the front foot, back toes tucked. We're just going to lift those hips up and then straighten both legs while tugging those hips back. Inhaling to lift the chest, gaze slightly ahead of the mat so your neck is comfortable. Exhale, bowing long torso over that front leg. So you might need a few adjustments. Maybe you take the blocks either side of your legs to help you lift up. Maybe you bend that front knee slightly. Or perhaps you step that back leg in a little or a little further out. Just find a place that works for you. You're setting up your foundations. Just breathing here. This is our high pyramid. Want to ground that front big toe mound. There's always a temptation to lift off. Good. Take one more breath in here, up to the hips. And as you exhale, back heel turns in and down. I'm going to rebend that front knee, breathing in. And take that right elbow onto the right knee. And sweep that left arm forwards, big circle. Start to lift the torso to your warrior two. Good, so what we're looking to do here is flatten out our hips and heart. Maybe heel toe that front foot in a little. Gazing over that front middle finger, shoulders are relaxed. We're going to drill down through the heels and hug them towards each other. Nice, sending a little more blood through the thighs, up through the hips. Really spreading out through the heart, up through the head. Exhale, lean forwards. Flip the front palm. Right arm to sky. Keep the front knee bent to stretch through that front side. Nice. Exhale, hands. Cartwheel to frame the front foot. Big bend in knees. We'll step back, 2 feet together. Rock forwards. Exhale, lower knees. Chest, chin. Slide the chest forwards up to your cobra. So belly on ground, shoulders up. Exhale, come back to earth. Hands grounded, tuck the toes. Rolling hips back and hips to sky. Downward facing dog. Good, is it getting warm in here? Take a deep breath in, lift the hips, the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, like forwards. Other foot forwards, 2 feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift to breathe in. Exhale, fold. Still moving for sticky mud, big toes touch. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart and fold forwards. Take your halfway lift, hips back, shoulders up. Exhale, fold down. Hands on the ground or to your blocks. We'll step back with the right foot this time. Front knee over front ankle, bend the back knee towards the earth. Breathing in, arms up. Good, and breathe here. So the warmth you're cultivating, imagine that just gathering through your hips, up through the belly, the heart, the head. Just practicing seeing ourselves as an integrated being. So easy to focus on big feelings. What else is happening in the body? Good. Breathe in, reaching up through side bodies. And exhale, start to sink the hips forward so that core is on to support you. Maybe untuck the toes. If you're feeling really wobbly, again, you can take that front foot out. Maybe take fists, gentle power through the hands. The fists really relate to the earth element also. Strong, steady. Good. Inhaling, drift the hips back over the back knee. As we exhale, we start to lengthen that front leg, drop the arms. Maybe find your blocks. We're curling those front toes back so that protects the knee. Take a breath in, heart forwards. And exhale, a long spine to fold. So if you are rounding to crane your head towards your leg, I just really, really would love for you to relax your head and just feel that stretch in the thigh. It truly is good enough for you to just feel the stretch. Now, notice that I'm using fists. You can use fists on the ground if your wrists are tired, or if you can't quite reach. Again, you've got your blocks. You can bring them to hand. Just breathing steadily. And dropping that third eye, that forehead down. One more full breath in, left and right hips pulling back. And we'll exhale, rebend that front knee. Take right hand inside of left foot, tuck the back toes. Maybe lift the back knee or keep it grounded. I'm going to inhale and take the left arm up this time. Good. And breathing here. So eye gaze can go up to find the thumb or anywhere that's comfortable for your neck. We're going to concentrate on these hips though. So if that right hip is dropped, we lift it up and just align that with the left hip. Prioritizing the alignment of our hips over the twist in our core. Nice. Take another full breath in. And exhaling. I'm going to bring the two hands to frame the front foot. Inhale, lift the hips back, finding your high pyramid. So again, find blocks if you need. Bend the front knee or take the back foot wider. Or bring it closer, inhaling to lift the heart. And exhaling to fold. So when we're looking for grounding, it's focusing on our relationship with gravity. Are you one to feel stagnant, to just stay where you are and resist movement, or are you more of a flighty type? Does your energy constantly look for the next thing? Wherever you are, just finding ways to be right here and trusting that forces beyond your control are supportive, just like the ground beneath your feet. Inhale, rebend that front knee. Back heel spins in towards you and down. Right hand, eyes follow the thumb. Inhale, sweep it forwards, core on. Reach up and find your warrior two. Don't worry if you had to take that in stages, especially if you've not practiced before, or if it's been a while, or maybe it's just that time of day. So big breath in. Feel your heels drill down and magnetize towards each other. We stay lifted through the heart, nice and proud, through the crown. Exhale, push forwards. Turn that front palm, left hand to sky, paint the ceiling, inhale. And we'll exhale, cartwheel the arms towards earth, remembering sticky mud. Feeling your strength, your control, and then stepping that left foot back. Exhaling to lower knees, chest, chin to earth. Inhaling to slide forwards, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Come back to earth. Tuck toes, hips back to heels. Hips to sky. And downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. A long breath out. Eye gaze towards shins. Release the back of your neck. Inhale, lift hips, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forwards. And find your way to the top of the mat. You could take a few steps. There's no hurry. Halfway lift to breathe in. And fold. So from here, we're going to take Padahastasan, which is hand under foot pose. I'll just turn to show you. Right hand under right foot, left hand under left foot. So your palms can be up or down. If you've never done this before, it could seem really weird. You might be a bit scared, that's okay. You're going to take your toes all the way up to your wrist creases. And then take a halfway lift from here. So bend the knees as much as you need. Take the heart forwards. And then exhale, soften the elbows, soften the head. And gaze through your legs. Just treat this as a little hand massage. I want you to really feel that physical connection of your hands and feet. So simple, just hands and feet. Still breathing. Taking one more cycle of breath here. You feel how heavy your skull is. Let your elbows be really heavy. Yeah. And slide the buns of your hands out. Let your feet land. From here, take a little halfway lift, lengthening through every bone of your spine, the crown reaching forwards. And exhale to fold. From here, I'm going to heel toe the feet out to the sides of the mat. Point the toes out the way. And then I'm going to bend the knees and roll ourselves back up. So that tailbone drops. The arms are heavy. And let yourself open up to stand. Open the hands, arms, big circle to sky. Hands to heart center, and we'll start to bend the knees in the direction of our toes, finding our way to a yogic squat. Now you can take a block and just lean onto that. Maybe you take it under your butt and you just sit on it there. Or if your heels need to come up, that's totally fine. Just going to find your way for a few breaths here in squat. You're going to press your knees into the elbows, elbows into knees. This might be particularly irritating or difficult or upsetting if you've had any kind of physical or other trauma to your hips, to your legs. Or you just be right here in your body. Appreciate how far it's taking you, how it's with you here now in every breath. Building strength through your legs and up through the spine as well. That red glowing energy in the base of your hips coursing through your blood up through the body. Steady breath in. Long breath out. We'll drop the hands down and start to raise the hips back and high. Heel toe the feet back to hip width. And take a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhaling, fold. Bend the knees a lot. Can you rest the belly on thighs now? And drop the hips. Start to raise the arms forwards, moving through that mud. Inhale. Chair for a moment. Exhale, arms reach forwards to shoulder height and dip the hips lower. Still breathing lower. You can take the hands down beside you. We're just going to step the feet a little further ahead now. Nice. Back on the ground. 2 sit bones grounded. And then we're just going to take our blocks. You might not need them. I'm just going to take them for a demonstration. And you're just going to pop them sort of in line with your hips. Hands walking out long behind you to support, or you could take the strength option for the core and just lower yourself down. Nice. And we're just going to walk our heels under our knees. Toes facing forwards. We'll find ourselves in a bridge pose. So option in today's practice for a restorative bridge or an active bridge. Restorative bridge does what it says. If you need a little bit more restoration, you're just going to push through the heels, lift the hips, and take your block, cushion, or bolster, whatever you've got to hand, and slip it under your hips. So I've got this on level 2. Level 1 would be just the level down. I want you to find the place where all of your all of your bones meet at the sacrum, just behind the hips there. If you are taking an active bridge, hands long beside you, inhale, lift the hips, belly, chest. And I want you to keep your hands unbound today and just press the palms on the ground in this intention of grounding, of connecting with root chakra, really pressing through heels and hands, lifting the hips up, gently wrapping your core around the spine. My restorative bridge. You just really let the back of your hips sink into your support. You could even open up the palms and let your knuckles rest on the ground. Just be here for a few more breaths. Whatever you're doing, just turn your attention to that connection through the skin, to your breaths in and out. Nice, one more full breath in. Wherever you are, we're going to begin to lower. So if you have a block, you'll lift the hips, slide the block out. If you're in active, together, let's roll the spine down from the neck all the way to the hips, back onto the ground. From here, we're just going to take a little leg raise. So you could do this with or without a block. If you're doing it without the block, you're just going to take your feet up and see if you can hover your ankles above your hips. I'm going to curl the toes back, and as you breathe in, push the heels up, but keep your hips grounded. Nice. If you want to try it with the block or Viparita Kirani, bring your legs back down if they were up. We're going to lift the hips. Take that block once more on either level 1 or level 2, and just slide that under your hips. Make sure your shoulders are grounded, eye gaze straight up. And we're just going to lift our knees above the hips and then extend our ankles above the hips. And so if that feels really awkward first time, you might want to bend the knees lower down and give yourself a little fix. Don't worry, we'll be here for a little while, so just make yourself comfortable. I'm going to ask you to keep your palms down if you can. If your shoulders feel okay with that, definitely palms down. Otherwise, yes, you can open the palms. I just really want you to feel the heat of your hands, your back, your hips meld with the earth. You can gently focus your gaze on your toes or close down the eyes. Deep belly breaths. I want you to really, right now, acknowledge how much care you're able to take with your body, that you are taking with your body, giving to your body. I allow the roof of your mouth to widen up and your tongue to fatten and lower away from the top teeth. The space between your brows opening as your skin just slides back, your upper shoulders Just rolling back and out. If the fronts of your hips are getting tired, feel free to just gently bend the knees. One more round of breath here. At the end of your exhale, bend the knees. You can lower your feet one by one. And lift the hips to remove your block if there's one under you. And then lower your spine down to the ground all the way to hips. Take a round of breath here, hands on hips. And just hug the knees to chest. We're going to take those rock and rolls again. So tuck the nose to knees and gently rocking and rolling. And the mind automatically compares, remembering the last time you did it. I want you to focus your efforts on being right here. We're just rocking back and forth until we find our way up to seated once again. And in seated, we're going to take the left leg long, right knee bent, and we'll step the right foot over the left thigh. Now, if your lower spine is tugging you back, definitely untangle the legs, lift the hips, and prop yourself up on a block or a cushion. What that does is it gives you more length in the lower spine. So from here, crossing that right foot over left thigh. Push through that front left big toe mount, and then arms up, inhaling for a long spine. We'll exhale, twist from the lower ribs to the right. Left elbow can hook outside of your right knee, right hand behind. If that's too much, just take your left arm and hug the right knee. Of course, options to take mudras. You might want to keep that fist for power, for grounding, or just Gnan mudra for concentration. Left thumb to first finger. Big breath in, crown up. And exhale, maybe gaze over the right shoulder. Not essential. You could also keep your chin above the chest. Now from here as you breathe, can you feel if the left hip has lifted? Can you ground it back down so that your left and right hips are evenly seated? It might mean you come out of your twist a little. Relax the shoulders. One more round of breath. And inhaling, gently rotate your spine back to center. When you take your left hand inside of your right thigh and just spin it open and up so your right foot's going to follow. We're going to shift our right knee on top of the left knee if you can. If you need to prop yourself in a block, do that. For the fullest expression of this pose, which is Gomukhasan, our cow face pose, we're going to bend that left knee and just rest our heel outside of the right hip. For our arms, arms up to sky, inhaling. I'm going to bend the left elbow, take the right hand down, and then bend that elbow too. You might catch hold of your hands. If you can't reach, that's okay. Maybe take a strap and just hold on to the strap. If you don't have a strap, hold on to your shirt. So from here, inhale, lift the chest, left and right hips on the ground. This might be enough and you just breathe here, or exhale, lean forwards. Just to where you can. You don't have to keep the hands bound. If it feels way better for you, if you can't access any bind, you're going to take your hands to the ground and just support yourself there. You might even take a block. And then we're just breathing here. Let your face, let your skull relax down. You want to just keep those hips suctioned on the ground. Prioritize alignment of your hips, of your stability. We're curling those toes towards knees. Next breath in, raising up through your spine. Exhale, release the arms behind you. Lengthen the legs in front. Give yourself a little shuggle. Now we're just going to bend that left knee this time, repeating on the other side. So press through that front right big toe mound this time. Step the left foot over. You can decide whether you need a block or not. Arms up and twist to the left. Good. Again, your option, you can just hug that knee. You might even take a block behind you, bring the ground further up. And just see what feels better for your head. Do you want to look over to the left, or perhaps you keep the chin a little bit more to center? Just checking in with the hips. Right hip grounded. Exhaling here. As you breathe in, unraveling back to center. Good. Right hand on inside of left thigh. Just spinning it up while you turn your left foot out. Good. So your knees are facing forwards, maybe, stacked on top of each other. And then you can maybe bend that right knee and just fold that right heel under. If that's not accessible, again, just keep your right leg straight. Okay, so just find that for yourself now. If two knees are bent, just make sure you're even. You could come forwards, line up the knees. From here, arms up. Right elbow bends, left arm down. And then just catching hold of hands, shirt or strap. Take your time, find your position. When you're ready, hips down, heart up as you inhale. And as you breathe out, just finding your stretch, your depth. Every breath out, taking you a little closer, a little deeper. You just lean into what feels good. As you inhale, bringing yourself back up gently. Exhaling, release the arms. Fingertips connect with earth. And just let your legs unravel. I'm going to take our legs wide. So we're still seated. Now I want you to bring yourself onto the front of your sit bones. So if your pelvis is a soup bowl, I want it to be pouring forwards and you're on the front edge. Yeah. So if you relax your feet, they'll probably tilt forwards a little. I'm going to activate the feet, curl the toes back. You can bend the knees as much as you need. Don't worry if your legs are more like this. That's also totally fine. If your lower spine is scooping you back, again, take a block, a cushion, prop yourself up onto your block or cushion. And once you found your spot, hands out in front, inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, walking your long spine forwards just to where you can. So maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you take yourself a little bit further forwards. So just find out what works for you. 8 breaths. So on the insides of the thighs. It said a lot of our emotional tension is held within the hips. We tense up our muscles. And there are many connections, attachments around the hips, the legs, the spine. And as we breathe and stretch out, we release through the body, and that encourages releases through the mind and heart. So don't be surprised, or be surprised if you like, if you find that, anger, resentment, sadness, any of that, just let it come out. Breathe it out. One last breath out. Heavy hips, heavy heels. And press through the hands to help yourself lift up. Ooh. Hands to outside of knees. So you can bring your legs back together, long in front. And give yourself space for your sit bones. So just parting the fleshy parts of your hips out. Arms to sky. Breathe in. And we're going to exhale, pour forwards. Bend the knees as much as you need into our seated forward fold, to our Paschimottanasana. Take a halfway lift here, so seated. Don't worry if your hands can't touch your feet. If they're here, that's also fine. If they're here, wherever. And as you breathe out, we're just going to lengthen, so each bone of your spine is reaching forwards. And then allow your chin to drop. Eye gaze towards your belly button. So I just want you to stay nice and heavy through your hips. Let the skull hang loose. Full breaths. We're practicing back lung breathing here. We'll expand the back ribs. As you breathe out, heavy through the eyelids, the cheeks. Those front toes active, curling them back to exhale. Now let's unroll ourselves, one bone at a time. Allow your knuckles to drag. Yeah. And as your spine builds itself back up, I'm going to lengthen and broaden through the chest, palms on the ground beside the hips. Coming to our staff pose, Dandasana. Pressing through the hands, broaden through collarbones, and you'll gently just gaze down towards your toes. Inner and outer thighs press down. Yeah, it's a strong pose. Just feel yourself building potential here. Your jaw relaxed, face relaxed. And your core is gently just scooping in and supporting that spine. One more round of breath. Shoulders relax down. Inhale, hands forwards, gentle fingers. Flip the palms and we'll tuck the tailbone. Round your way down. So you can bend the knees and catch your thighs if you need. Otherwise, we're just going to come down one bone at a time. All the way down to the ground. Feel your shoulder blades touch down, arms along beside you. And let's bring our right knee to chest, inhaling. Exhale, rolling that knee across the body, arms out to a T. Taking a supine twist here. Eye gaze to your right thumb. So if you want a little more here, we're going to take that top hip and roll it towards our left heel. And just feel how that stretches you a little more across the torso. And although you are looking for that stretch, want you to again prioritize your grounding, your stability. So your two shoulders on the ground. That might mean you come out of your twist. It might mean you just wait till later till you can access a bigger twist. It's practicing this non-attachment to outcomes. It's appreciation of where we are, what we have now. And tending to our practical needs, the breath in and the breath out. What else can you tend to hear? At the end of your exhale, inhale and gently unravel the spine. Two hips grounded, right leg long. Exhale. And shift the hips back in line with shoulders if they moved. We'll take the left knee to chest, inhaling. Exhale, left knee across the body. Left arm rolls out along beside you. Eye gaze to your left thumb this time. And again, you can roll that top hip towards your right heel this time. Or you can just stay relaxed. Two shoulders grounded, deep breaths. Tracing your breath through your whole spine. So beginning with your tailbone all the way up through the hips, the torso, the heart, your neck to the tip of your crown. Finish your exhale. Gently unroll yourself back to center. Oh, exhale, two legs long beside each other. I want you to keep your hips grounded. I keep repeating that, but I just know how easy it is to take off. Can you tell I'm a lot more fire and air? Let's take the knees back to our armpits, coming to our happy baby, hands behind the thighs. As you exhale, allow the thighs to part around the belly. Float your ankles up on top of your knees. Maybe you take the hands behind the calves or outer edges of feet. Whichever you're doing, I want you to find a feeling of embracing rather than forcing or reaching. It's just embracing whatever you can find, right? And when you find your position, deep breath into the belly. And exhale, just hang back. Allow your inner thighs to open. Allow your shoulders to open and your head to really just hang and drop back. So if you found that you're scooped up like a little turtle, we're going to bring our hands all the way down again to our thighs. Prioritize your alignment, your foundations. Freedom to rock side to side. Eye gaze through the ceiling or eyes closed, just enjoying your own momentum, your own dynamics. And then back to center, knees together, arms around shins, nose to knees. Give yourself a big hug, really tight squeeze here, big breath in. Exhale, hug all of your bones, super tight. 2 more rounds here. Just becoming this bright, deep, wholesome red ball of light, full of goodness, well nourished. And exhale, release out to your final resting pose, Shavasana. So super important that you take this pose. Corpse pose allows our body to reset and to realign, to integrate all the work that's been done. So give your legs, your arms plenty of space. Open the palms, rock the hips. You can allow your shoulders to shuffle away from ears. Give your skull a little rock, side to side. Come back to center. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. 2 more. Just release all control of the breath and body here. Behind the eyelids, drawing your attention to the coming and going of the breath. Just observe that rhythm. This rhythm so easily taken for granted, this backdrop of primal life force energy that courses through us moment to moment. Allowing your head, your neck, shoulders to relax, your whole spine to just gently realign. Left and right sides of your hip relaxed. Your leg bones, thighs, kneecaps, your shins, all your tiny feet bones just relaxed. Your arms, your elbows, your knuckles sinking into the ground. And see, there's no need to try to be better. Controversial, perhaps, but as you breathe, just notice all of these uncontrollable miracles that come together. Your body knows how to heal. Your nervous system is always working to recalibrate. All we have to do is get out of the way. Just be. When you feel that your heartbeat has subsided to a restful rhythm, And your breath is coming and going at an easy pace. Just remain here. Just be in this energy. And in your own time, take a gentle, full breath into the chest and belly. And an easy breath out. Slowly engage your fingers, your toes, little movements. Roll the ankles, the wrists. You can rock your head side to side. Reach the arms overhead, point the toes. And bend the knees. Roll over to one side, drawing the knees towards your belly button, just becoming like a little fetus. And just rest here for a moment, feeling the weight of your body, observing the quality of your breath, and feeling the support of Mother Earth beneath you. With eyes closed if you can, otherwise downcast. Just going to find your way, pressing with the hands back up to seated. Guiding yourself back onto your sit bones, finding a comfortable seat. And with sit bones grounded, crown tall, we'll just draw hands to heart center. Gently tilting your third eye, your forehead, towards fingertips. And we'll just close this session with one deep Om. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathing into Om. Hands at heart center, kind and loving intentions. Hands to third eye, kind and loving thoughts. Hands to mouth, kind and loving words to ourselves and to others. Together we bow and seal our practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today's practice. Feel free to do this practice again. By doing the same practices repetitively, you can learn about the way that your mind works and your body works, and get to know yourself better. So, root chakra, you can go and do some journaling, drink plenty of water, and just enjoy moving slowly throughout your day and observing the way that your heart and mind respond to your body, and vice versa.